And things like, I know that there's been talk about dissolution of marriage these days. And so, and what was said in this article, talking about the beauty of civil union and dissolution of marriage laws is this. And I guess people who are pushing these laws are doable, are double-bladed under the law. If two parties are married, both of them will be encouraged to make the other happy. Both parties have to be happy in a marriage, so you have to endeavor that your partner is happy. Okay? Dissolution of marriage gives married couples or a married individual the option to end their union on the basis of unhappiness. And so now, what's being said here is because as long as I'm unhappy, I can get out of this marriage. But is happiness the goal of marriage? Is that how God's designed marriage? That is not how. I would respectfully disagree. Because that's not the design God had for marriage is not for our happiness, but for our holiness. That the design of marriage is for the glory of God, to be able to showcase God's love for His bride, the church. And so marriage has to become missional. In other words, there's a purpose and a reason why we're married. And those of you who are getting married, the goal is not so that your needs are met, because now it's no longer a covenant, it's become consumerism. Why? Because as long as you meet my needs, then I'm fine. I'll stay with you as long as our needs are being met. If this is no longer meeting our needs, then we can dissolve our marriage. But that's not the plan of God. In fact, I think about what has become of marriage to some people when they get in. When you talk about consumerism, take your village mini grocer for an example. In your village, there's like a mini mart or something like that. I will consistently be a good customer for this little grocery store as long as they provide two things: good products and good price. Right? Or in any restaurant, right? You go out there, you eat, somewhere there. As long as they give me a good price and good food, I'm there. And we've put that into marriage and say, as long as my needs are met, as long as I'm happy, as long as I'm being met, my needs are met, I'm okay. But this is not the goal of God for marriage. And Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4, the Bible says, let the marriage be held in honor. Everybody say honor. It has to be held in honor. Day and age where people throw away marriage like they throw disposable diapers. And so, marriage be held in honor among all. Let the marriage bed be undefiled. For God will judge the sexually immoral and the adulterous, not just the married, but the single. That the marriage bed is to be held in honor. And I guess that's the illustration I have here, okay? The marriage bed held in honor. And that this is not to be defiled. In fact, I was listening to a message by Pastor Ed Stetzer, and he was talking about, how the marriage bed sometimes is defiled by past entanglements, by present distractions, and by future fears. And that by past entanglements, he would mean we bring in a suitcase of all the memories that you and I have, which is whether that's, you guys understand what this means, whether that's wrong relationships or immoral relationships or sexually premarital sex or stuff like that. And we bring that into the marriage bed, and the marriage bed is defiled as a result of that. Whatever's been in the past, and now you think about how you feel the cringe in your heart when we even talk about these things. Or even present distractions, right? You think about whether today online content that ruins marriages, or not just marriages, but even your own soul as a single person. You bring that into the marriage bed, and that becomes defiled as a result. And then also your future fears, and you're one probably who says, I don't know if I'm ever going to get married because my parents separated and I don't want the same thing happening to me. Or maybe you're going through a difficult time thinking about future marriage because the fear of failure just paralyzes you. And it's something like, I don't know if I can deal with it. And it is tough. And so you got all these things cluttering your bed or the marriage bed today.